My own daughter called me a worthless loser who didn't deserve to live in her house. I'm Tom Wilson, and I've spent 30 years building something my daughter never bothered to understand. She demanded my $3 million beach house for her billionaire boyfriend, posted about it on Instagram for 500,000 followers to see, and gave me 24 hours to pack my junk and get out. What she didn't know was that I didn't just own that house. I owned the one she thought was hers, too, and by sunrise both were gone. I didn't argue. I didn't shout. I just picked up my phone and made 3 calls. If you're watching this, please subscribe and let me know where you're watching from. Because this story starts 3 decades ago when I made a promise to myself about the difference between giving someone everything and teaching them to value anything. That promise would cost my daughter more than she ever imagined. Most people look at me and see exactly what my daughter Emma sees. A guy in his mid-50s who drives a 15-year-old Ford pickup with faded blue paint and 180,000 miles on it. Someone who shops at Walmart for 12 flannel shirts and brings 15 wine to dinner parties where everyone else drops 300. Emma Wilson Hayes, 28 years old, 500,000 Instagram followers, and completely sure that her old man is embarrassing. Dad, you literally look homeless, she told me last month when I showed up to her birthday party. Bradford's friends are going to think I come from nothing. Bradford Hayes III, heir to a real estate dynasty, 200 million family empire, drives a 350,000 Lamborghini, and wears watches that cost more than most people's cars. The first sign I was losing my daughter happened 6 months ago. She started calling my Malibu beach house the family property in conversations, then my future inheritance, then just my house. When Bradford and I get married, we'll obviously need the beach house, she announced over dinner. You can move into something smaller, more appropriate. Appropriate. That word stayed in my head. The second sign came when she posted an Instagram story from my living room. The caption read, "Dealing with family drama. Some people just don't understand their place anymore." The comments were brutal. Her followers calling me a boomer dad who was holding back her success. One person wrote, "Girl, just take what's yours. Old people don't need beach houses." Emma screenshot the worst comments and sent them to me. See, even strangers get it. I never replied to those texts. I just saved them. What Emma doesn't know is that I've been watching her Instagram stories for months. Watching her show off the penthouse apartment I pay $8,000 a month for. The $35,000 Hermes bag I bought for her graduation. The $95,000 Range Rover lease that comes out of my account every month. In her world, she earned all of it. I was just the lucky guy who inherited one house and somehow kept paying for her lifestyle. My dad's kind of a fixer-upper person. I heard her tell Bradford's mother at a charity event last spring. Blue-collar background, he tries his best, but he doesn't really understand how things work in our social circle. Our social circle. Like she built the foundation she was standing on. Bradford thought this was charming. Apparently it's so authentic, he told his friends within earshot of me. Emma's keeping it real despite her advantages. Her advantages. The ones that supposedly appeared out of thin air. But the breaking point wasn't the comments or the dismissals or even the entitlement. It was what happened 3 weeks ago when Emma brought Bradford to the house for dinner. They walked in like they owned the place. Bradford immediately started measuring walls with his eyes, talking about maximizing the ocean view and updating the finishes. The kitchen needs a complete gut renovation, Emma agreed. Maybe we can start plans while Dad's still here. While I'm still here. In my own house. Dad, Emma said as they were leaving. Bradford and I have been talking. We're ready to take over the property management. You've done your part, but it's time for people who understand real estate to handle things. People who understand real estate. I nodded and said nothing. That night, Emma had no idea what she'd just triggered. The text came at 7:30 the next morning. Dad, Bradford and I have decided. We need you out of the beach house by next Friday. We're changing the locks and starting renovations. I already called a realtor friend to help you find something more suitable for your budget. My budget? The budget? She thought she understood. I called her right away. She answered on the fourth ring, sounding annoyed. Emma, we need to talk about this. There's nothing to talk about. I'm 28 years old. I'm getting married, and I need to start building my life. You can't expect me to wait forever for you to make room. Make room in my own house. Dad, come on. You know what I mean. The house is family property. It should go to the next generation. Bradford's parents already offered to help with your moving expenses. Bradford's parents offering to help me move out of my own house. What if I said no? Emma laughed. Actually laughed. Dad, be realistic. You can't afford to maintain a $3 million property on whatever savings you have. The property taxes alone are probably killing you. This is better for everyone. Whatever savings I have, property taxes that are probably killing me. Emma, do you know how I afford that house? Inheritance, right? Grandpa left it to you when he died. Look, I'm grateful for what you've provided, but I need to think about my future now. Bradford and I have actual plans. Actual plans like what I've done for the last 30 years didn't count. What happens if I refuse to leave? Dad, don't make this harder than it needs to be. Bradford's father knows property law. He says squatters' rights don't apply to family disputes. And since you never put the house in a trust or anything, we can work something out legally. Squatters' rights. In my own house. I'll need to see these legal options in writing. Fine. Bradford's sending papers this afternoon. Just remember, we're trying to do this the nice way. Don't force us to get attorneys involved. She hung up. I sat in my kitchen, looking out at the ocean through windows I've watched the sunrise through for 15 years, and realized my daughter honestly believed she was doing me a favor. The papers arrived by courier at 2 p.m., beautifully formatted letterhead from Hazen Associates, Bradford's father's firm. The language was polite but clear. I had 30 days to transfer ownership of the Malibu property to Emma or face formal legal proceedings to resolve the inheritance dispute. Inheritance dispute. For a house I bought with my own money. The letter included a detailed timeline. Week 1. Pack personal belongings. Week 2. Coordinate with Emma's chosen realtor to find appropriate alternative housing. Week 3. Finalize property transfer. Week 4. Complete move out. They even estimated my living expenses based on typical retirement income for someone of your professional background. The number was insulting, but what really caught my attention was the final paragraph. We understand this transition may be emotionally difficult, but we're confident this arrangement serves everyone's long-term interests, including your own financial stability. My own financial stability. They were helping me avoid bankruptcy by taking my house. I read the letter 3 times, then walked to my office and opened the filing cabinet I hadn't touched in months. The one Emma has never seen inside. The documents were exactly where I left them. Ocean View Holdings Incorporation papers, property acquisition records, bank statements, a Forbes article from 2 years ago titled The Stealth Moguls of Coastal Real Estate. I spread everything across my desk and took pictures with my phone. Then I made a list of calls I needed to make. First call, Margaret Anderson, my attorney for 25 years. She picked up immediately. Tom, what's wrong? You sound different. I need you to prepare some documents, and I need them fast. What kind of documents? The kind that teach my daughter the difference between inheritance and assumption. Margaret was quiet for a moment. How fast is fast? 24 hours. And Margaret, make sure everything's ironclad. This is going to get public. Second call. James Taylor, VP of Operations at Ocean View Holdings. Tom, we weren't expecting to hear from you until next month's board meeting. Change of plans, James. I need you to speed up the Harrison Group deal. Both Malibu properties. Full asking price, cash only. Close within 12 hours. 12 hours? Tom, that's possible. I know it's possible because we've done it before. Make it happen. Third call. Dr. Patricia Brown, the family therapist Emma and I saw briefly last year. Dr. Brown, it's Tom Wilson. I need to schedule an emergency session for tomorrow morning, and I need you to document everything we discuss. By sunset, the machine was moving. Emma had no idea what was coming. The dinner party was Bradford's idea. A small gathering, he called it. Just close friends and family to celebrate their engagement announcement. 23 people in my living room, drinking wine that costs more than my truck payment. Talking about real estate markets and charity galas and vacation homes in Aspen. Emma wore a $30,000 engagement ring Bradford gave her that afternoon. She posted Instagram stories every 15 minutes, showing off the ring against the backdrop of our beach house. Our beach house, she wrote. I arrived right on time, carrying a bottle of grocery store wine. 15.99. The cashier had looked at me like I was doing something wrong. Dad. Emma rushed over, and I could see panic in her eyes. You made it. Wouldn't miss it, I said, handing her the wine. Congratulations on your engagement. She took the bottle and immediately handed it to Bradford's mother, Patricia Hayes. Thank you so much. We'll just put this with the others. Patricia glanced at the label and smiled, the kind of smile rich people use when they're politely judging poor people things. How thoughtful. Bradford appeared at Emma's shoulder, wearing a watch that probably cost more than most people make in a year. Tom, great to see you. Emma's been telling everyone about the house transition. Very smooth process. House transition like it was already done. Actually, I said, I haven't agreed to anything yet. The room around us got quieter. Not silent, but quiet enough that I knew people were listening. Emma's face tightened. Dad, we talked about this. Bradford's father already sent the papers. I read the papers. I have questions. Bradford stepped closer. What kind of questions? My father was very thorough. Legal questions about ownership and inheritance law. Patricia Hayes appeared beside us, holding a glass of wine that definitely wasn't from my bottle. Is there some kind of problem? Emma looked embarrassed. No problem. Dad's just being cautious. Cautious about what? Patricia's voice had that tone rich people use when poor people don't cooperate fast enough. About signing over property rights to a house I've owned for 15 years, I said. The room got noticeably quieter. Bradford laughed. Tom, I think there's been a misunderstanding. The house has been in Emma's family for generations, right? This is just making the paperwork official. Actually, I said, I bought the house in 2009 with my own money. Emma's face turned red. Dad, stop. You're embarrassing yourself. How am I embarrassing myself by stating facts? Because everyone here knows about family inheritances, Patricia said smoothly. It's very common for people to feel attached to property even after it's time to pass it down. People feel attached. Like I was a tenant who overstayed. Mrs. Hayes, I said, what do you think this house is worth? Emma mentioned $3 million, I believe. Lovely location. And what do you think my income is? Patricia looked uncomfortable. I really couldn't say. Take a guess. Based on how I dress, what I drive, where I shop. What do you think I make in a year? Emma grabbed my arm. Dad, please stop. Because I'm curious, I continued. How does everyone think I've been paying property taxes on a $3 million house for 15 years? The taxes alone are $42,000 a year. Bradford frowned. Your father mentioned the inheritance covered property expenses. What inheritance? I asked. Now the room was definitely listening. Conversations had stopped. People pretended to check their phones while leaning in to hear. Emma's voice sharpened. Dad, you're making a scene. I'm asking questions about my own house that I bought with money I earned. What money? Bradford's voice had an edge now. Tom, no offense, but Emma said you're basically retired. Property maintenance, insurance, utilities. Where is that money coming from? Where is that money coming from? The question everyone was thinking, but Bradford was rude enough to say out loud. That's a very good question, I said. Emma, why don't you tell Bradford where you think the money comes from? Emma looked trapped. Dad, we don't need to talk about your personal finances at a party. Actually, I think we do. Since Bradford's father is so concerned about my financial stability, and since you told everyone this house needs to go to people who understand real estate. Patricia set her wine down. Perhaps this conversation would be better privately. Would it? Because Bradford seems very confident about property law, and Emma already announced our house transition to 500,000 Instagram followers. Seems pretty public to me. Emma's face went white. Dad, what are you talking about? I pulled out my phone and showed her the screenshot I took that morning. Her Instagram story from my living room, posted at 6:15 a.m. Moving forward with family property decisions. Some people need to learn when it's time to step aside. Hundreds of comments in 6 hours. Most of them saying things like, yes girl, take what's yours. And boomers need to make room for the next generation. Emma, I said quietly, you posted this from my kitchen this morning. She stared at the phone. The room was completely silent now. I was excited about our future. Our future in my house. Bradford cleared his throat. Tom, maybe we should table this discussion. Why? You seemed very confident about inheritance law 5 minutes ago. I looked around the room. 21 people watching. My daughter realized she'd made a very public mistake. I think, I said, it's time everyone understands exactly what kind of inheritance we're talking about. I walked to my office and came back with a folder. Emma watched me like I was carrying a bomb. Dad, what are you doing? What I should have done months ago. The phone call I made next would change everything. I dialed Margaret Anderson right there in front of everyone. She answered on the second ring. Margaret, it's Tom. I need you to explain something in front of witnesses. Emma looked like she might throw up. Dad, hang up the phone. Margaret, if someone bought a property with their own money 15 years ago, and their adult child started claiming inheritance rights to that property, what would you call that? Margaret's voice came through clearly, loud enough for nearby people to hear. I'd call it a possible fraud case, depending on the details. Patricia Hayes stepped forward. Tom, I really think we should discuss this privately. Mrs. Hayes, your son and daughter-in-law announced their plan to take my house to a room full of people and 500,000 followers. I think privacy already left. Margaret, I continued, what if that same person had their boyfriend's father write legal papers threatening the actual owner with formal proceedings if they didn't surrender the property? Tom, that depends on the exact wording, but it could be attempted extortion. Bradford went pale. Now, wait just a minute. And Margaret, what if the actual owner had documentation proving not only their purchase of the disputed property, but ownership of multiple other properties the claimant doesn't even know exist? The room went dead silent. Margaret's voice got interested. Tom, are we talking about the Ocean View Holdings portfolio? Ocean View Holdings. The name hit the room like a glass shattering. Emma stared at me. What's Ocean View Holdings? Margaret, can you explain to everyone what Ocean View Holdings is? Ocean View Holdings is a luxury coastal property management company founded 30 years ago. They own and operate over 200 premium rental properties across 15 states. Current portfolio value is approximately $85 million. Bradford's mouth opened and closed like a fish. And Margaret, who founded Ocean View Holdings? You did, Tom. You're the founding CEO. I hung up. The silence was so complete I could hear the ocean outside. Emma's voice was a whisper. That's not possible. Which part isn't possible? You drive a 15-year-old truck. You shop at Walmart. You brought 15 wine to my engagement party. I also own the building where Bradford's father has his law office. Bradford made a choking sound. And the office building where Patricia's interior design firm is located. Patricia Hayes looked like she'd seen a ghost. And the hotel where you and Bradford had your first date. The Seaside Grand, property number 47 in the Ocean View portfolio. Emma dropped onto the couch. This isn't real. I opened the folder I brought from my office. Bank statements from First National Trust. As of yesterday, liquid assets total $87.2 million. I pulled out another document. Forbes magazine, September 2022 issue. America's Invisible Real Estate Kings. My photo is on page 63. They called me the Phantom of Pacific Property. Emma grabbed the magazine. Her hands shook. Property acquisition records for the past 15 years. 220 properties purchased, renovated, and turned into luxury rentals. Average return on investment, 32 a year. I pulled out my phone and opened an app. This is the Ocean View Holdings Management Dashboard. Real-time occupancy, revenue tracking, maintenance schedules. Today's gross revenue. I scrolled. 43,812. That's impossible, Bradford said. You're a handyman. Emma said you used to fix things for people. I still fix things. I buy broken properties and turn them into profitable businesses. Emma, remember when you asked where the money comes from to pay property taxes on this house? She nodded. Blank. This house makes $12,000 a month in rental income when you're not here, which is most of the time. Emma stared at me. Rental income? The guest cottage behind the house, the one you use for Instagram photos, is a separate unit. It rents for $4,000 a month. Your photographer friend Jenny has been staying there all summer. She pays through the Ocean View booking system.
Jenny paye rent. Jenny paye premium rat.
Ocean View, private beach access, near celebrity homes. Very popular with content creators. Bradford found his voice. If this is true, why do you live like what? Like someone who doesn't need to prove his worth with expensive cars and designer clothes. Patricia Hayes was reading the Forbes article over Emma's shoulder. Thomas Wilson, founder and CEO of Ocean View Holdings. Estimated net worth $85 million. Known for his low-profile lifestyle and hands-on management approach. She looked up at me. You're the Phantom of Pacific Property. I prefer Tom. But yes. Emma stared at the bank statements. Dad, why didn't you tell me? Because you never asked. You assumed. You saw an old truck and cheap clothes and decided you knew everything about my money. But I'm your daughter. I should have known. Should you? Emma, when's the last time you asked me about my work? My day? My plans? Anything? She opened her mouth, then closed it. I'll wait. The room waited too. 21 people watching my daughter realize she didn't know anything about her father. Finally, she whispered, I don't remember. Neither do I said. What she found on my desk that morning nearly broke her. Emma left the party without saying goodbye. She took Bradford with her, both of them looking like they got hit by a truck. The remaining guests made excuses and left within 20 minutes. By 10 p.m., I was alone in my house with 23 empty wine glasses, and the satisfaction of watching entitled people learn that assumptions have consequences. At 11:30 p.m., my phone buzzed non-stop with Instagram alerts. Emma had gone live. I opened her account and watched my daughter fall apart in real time. She was in her Range Rover, parked somewhere I didn't recognize, tears running down her face, while her 500,000 followers fired off comments. You guys, I don't even know where to start. My whole life has been a lie. My dad has been pretending to be poor this whole time. The comments exploded. What? OMG, Emma. Tell us everything. Like, he's apparently worth 85 million. 85 million. And he let me think he was some broke retiree who could barely afford property taxes. More comments. That's insane. Why would he hide that? Rich dads are the worst. Emma wiped her nose with the back of her hand. He owns like 200 properties. He's been in Forbes magazine. Forbes. And I've been paying for dinners because I thought he couldn't afford them. The viewer count climbed. 43,000 people watching my daughter publicly humiliate herself. And the worst part, he's been charging people rent to stay in our house. Our house. Like Jenny, my photographer. She's been paying $4,000 a month to stay in the guest house. $4,000. And my dad never told me. Bradford appeared in the frame, looking defeated. Babe, maybe you shouldn't. No, Bradford. My followers deserve to know what kind of family they're supporting. My dad deliberately deceived everyone. He made me look like an idiot in front of your parents. 48,000 viewers now. And you know what else? He's been testing me this whole time. Watching me make assumptions, letting me plan my future around inheriting his house, and just waiting for me to show what kind of person I really am. She was sobbing now. And I failed. I completely failed. I tried to steal my own father's house because I thought he was too poor and too stupid to stop me. The comments split between sympathy and shock. Some defended Emma. He should have told you. Others were brutal. You tried to steal his house. Your dad sounds like a legend. Bradford's dad sent legal papers to my father. Legal papers threatening him if he didn't give up his own house. And my dad just let us do it. He let us make complete fools of ourselves. 52,000 viewers. Bradford tried again. Emma, please turn off the camera. Why? So we can pretend this didn't happen? So I can go back to posting my perfect life while my dad thinks I'm a greedy, entitled brat. She looked into the camera. Because that's what I am. I'm exactly the kind of person who would try to steal her father's house because she thought he couldn't afford a lawyer to stop her. The comments got nastier. This is so cringe. Delete this while you still can. RIP your reputation. You know what the really sick part is? He pays for everything. Everything. My apartment, my car, my credit cards, my lifestyle. And I convinced myself I deserved it because he was just some lucky guy who inherited a house. 57,000 viewers. I posted this morning about family property decisions and people needing to step aside. I told 500,000 people that my poor old dad needed to make room for the next generation. And all those people cheered me on because they thought I was taking back what was mine. She held up her phone showing the morning story. Look at these comments. Look what I let people say about my father. The comments on the live got worse. Emma, this is painful. Girl, stop. Your career is over. 23 people watched me try to embarrass my dad tonight, and instead I embarrassed myself in front of Bradford's family. In front of everyone who matters in our social circle. Bradford was begging now. Emma, please end the stream. Bradford, your parents think my dad is a deadbeat. Your father tried to scare him with legal threats. Your mother offered to pay his moving expenses because she thought he was too poor. 61,000 viewers. And my dad just stood there and let it happen. He could have stopped it any time. He could have shown the Forbes article or the bank statements or the business cards, but he didn't. He let us show exactly who we really are. Emma looked exhausted. He let me show 500,000 people what I'm really like when I think no one important is watching. The comments turned sympathetic again. Emma, you're having a breakdown. Call your dad. This isn't healthy. I don't know how to fix this. I don't know how to apologize for trying to steal someone's house. I don't know how to explain to my followers that everything I've posted has been built on lies. She wiped her eyes. My dad owns the hotel where Bradford and I had our first date. He owns the building where Bradford's father works. He probably owns half the places I've tagged on Instagram. The viewer count hit 64,000. And I called him worthless. I called him a loser. I told him he didn't deserve to live in his own house. Emma stared into the camera one last time. If you're watching this, Dad,
I'm sorry.
I'm so sorry. And I understand if you never forgive me. She ended the stream. 64,000 people watched my daughter destroy her own reputation in real time. By sunrise, the life she knew was over. Emma showed up at my house at 6:15 the next morning. I was drinking coffee on the deck, watching the sunrise, when I heard her Range Rover in the driveway. She looked like she hadn't slept. Her live breakdown had been clipped and shared everywhere. TikTok compilations, Twitter threads, YouTube reaction videos. My daughter's meltdown went viral in the worst way. Dad. I turned. Emma stood in the doorway, still wearing yesterday's clothes, holding her phone with a cracked screen. Can we talk? Of course. She sat across from me, staring at the ocean. How long have you been awake? Since 4. I always watch the sunrise. Every day. Every day I'm here for 15 years. Emma was quiet for a long time. Then she said, Dad, I need to ask you something, and I need you to tell me the truth. Okay. Last night when you showed everyone those documents and talked to your lawyer and pulled out the Forbes article, was any of that planned? I sipped my coffee. What do you mean? I mean, did you know Bradford and I were going to try to take the house? Did you let us do it so you could embarrass us in front of everyone? Emma, did you plan to try to take my house?
No.
Yes. I mean, we thought it made sense. When did you start thinking it made sense? She stared at her hands. When Bradford's parents suggested it. They said you were probably struggling financially and too proud to ask for help. They said the responsible thing would be to take over the property management before you got into real trouble. And you believed them? I wanted to believe them. Felt like taking care of you, like being the adult for once. I set down my coffee. Emma, how much do you think it costs to maintain this house? I don't know. A lot. Take a guess. 10,000 a month. Closer to 15. Property taxes, insurance, utilities, maintenance, landscaping, security system, plus the guest house management, cleaning for rental turnovers and repairs. Emma stared at me. You've been paying 15,000 a month for 15 years. More some months, less others. Depends on what breaks. That's almost 3 million. 2.7 million, actually. I keep detailed records. Emma opened her calculator, hands shaking. Dad, if you spent almost 3 million just maintaining this house, how much money do you actually have? More than 3 million. How much more? I stood and walked to my office. Emma followed. The papers from last night were still on my desk, but I opened a different cabinet. This one held folders by year and property type. These are the acquisition records, I said, pulling out a thick folder marked 2009 to 2012. But, girl, I started Ocean View Holdings in 1994 with a $40,000 down payment on a foreclosed duplex in Venice Beach. Emma picked up a deed. 38 Windward Avenue. Purchase price $160,000. That duplex is worth $1.2 million today. It brings in $14,000 a month in rent. I pulled out another folder. 2013 to 2016. This was the expansion phase. 27 properties bought, all foreclosures or distressed sales. Average purchase price $400,000. Current average value $1.8 million. Emma read the deeds like they were in another language. Dad, how many properties do you own as of yesterday? 220. 220 properties. Beach houses, mountain cabins, downtown lofts, suburban rentals. Ocean View Holdings has properties in California, Oregon, Washington, Nevada, Arizona, Colorado, Utah, Hawaii, Florida, North Carolina, South Carolina, Georgia, Virginia, Maryland, Massachusetts. Emma dropped into my desk chair. How is that possible? Compound interest, reinvestment, and a lot of long days. I opened a laptop and pulled up the Ocean View Holdings management portal. This is our booking system. It handles reservations, payments, maintenance requests, and guest communication for all 220 properties. A live dashboard filled the screen. Current occupancy, 87. Today's revenue, $51,436. This week's revenue, $312,890. Emma stared. Dad, that says you made $300,000 this week. Good week. Summer vacation season. In 1 week, you made more than most people make in 5 years. Emma, I've been making this kind of money for 15 years. Where did you think it was going? She looked around my office like she was seeing it for the first time. The simple desk, basic computer, cabinets full of property papers. I thought you were just organized. I am organized. Extremely organized. It's how you run 220 properties without losing your mind. I opened another folder. These are the Forbes interviews. They profiled me 3 times in the last 5 years. The invisible moguls of real estate, America's stealth landlords, and the millionaires next door you'd never recognize. Emma picked up the newest one. The headline read, Thomas Wilson, the 85 million man who drives a 3000 truck. They interviewed me for 6 hours. I said, they wanted to know how someone builds this kind of money while living a normal life. Emma read silently for several minutes, then looked up with tears. Dad, this article calls you one of the most successful real estate entrepreneurs on the West Coast. It says you created over 400 jobs and generated more than $12 million in local tax revenue. The property business employs a lot of people. Cleaning crews, maintenance teams, landscapers, security companies, contractors. It says you never took a salary from Ocean View Holdings, that you reinvest every penny into property purchases and employee benefits. Why would I need a salary? The business pays for what I need. Emma stared at the article. Dad, it says you've been secretly paying college scholarships for the children of your employees. Good employees are hard to find. Investing in their families is investing in the business. How much? How much what? How much did you spend on scholarships? I pulled out another folder. $843,000 over the last 10 years. 47 kids so far. Engineers, teachers, nurses, business majors. 2 work for Ocean View now. Emma was crying openly. Dad, I tried to steal your house. You tried to steal one of my houses. How many houses do you own that I don't know about? I smiled. Emma, you know about 2 properties. This house and your apartment building. I own both of those plus 218 others. You own my apartment building? I bought it 3 years ago. The old owner was raising rents and evicting long-term tenants. I thought you'd be safer if I controlled your housing. Emma buried her face in her hands. Oh my God. Emma, there's something else you need to know. She looked up. I don't own these properties anymore. Her face went white. What do you mean? I mean, I sold them yesterday. Both this house and your apartment building. You sold my apartment. I sold everything you thought was yours. Emma stared, stunned. The new owners take possession at noon today. At exactly 7 a.m., my phone rang. James Taylor, Ocean View Holdings, Vice President of Operations. Tom, it's done. Both properties sold to Harrison Development Group. Wire transfers completed 23 minutes ago. 6.4 million total. Cash deal. No contingencies. I put him on speaker. Emma listened with her mouth open. James, confirm the timeline. Sale contracts executed at 6:07 a.m. Property transfers filed with the county at 6:31 a.m. Harrison Group's attorneys are preparing possession notices now. Should be served by 10 a.m. And the third property? Emma looked confused. Third property? The Oceanfront Towers apartment complex where Emma lives. Sale finalized at 6:54 a.m. Harrison paid $8.2 million. Also cash. Emma jumped up so fast her chair fell. You sold my apartment building. Harrison Development Group is Bradford's family's biggest competitor, James continued. They were very motivated to buy prime coastal properties, especially ones that have been off-market for years. I smiled. James, tell Emma what Harrison plans to do with the properties. Complete renovation and repositioning. The beach house will become a private corporate retreat center. The apartment building will be converted into luxury condos with a 60-day tenant relocation timeline. Emma grabbed my arm. Dad, that means I have to move out in 60 days. It means you have to move out in 60 days, I said. But where am I supposed to live? That's a great question. Where do you plan to live? Emma looked panicked. I don't know. I don't have money saved. You pay for everything. I opened my banking app. Emma, look at this account. She leaned in. Emma Wilson Trust Fund. Balance 0. What happened to my trust fund? You never had a trust fund. You had a monthly allowance I sent from my account. $8,000 for rent, $3,000 for expenses, $2,000 for fun money. $13,000 a month for 7 years. Emma did the math on her phone. Dad, that's over $1 million. $1,092,000 to be exact. Where is it going to come from now? It's not. Emma stared at me. What do you mean? I mean the monthly transfers stop today. Your apartment lease ends in 60 days. Your car lease ends when this month's payment doesn't go through. Your credit cards get canceled when the auto-pay accounts close. Dad, you can't just cut me off completely. Can't I? Emma's phone buzzed. She looked and went pale. Bradford's calling. Answer it. She put it on speaker. Bradford's voice came through, frantic and furious. Emma, what the hell did your father do? My dad just got a call from Harrison Development Group. They own our properties now. All of them. I know, Bradford. He sold them. He sold them to our biggest competitors. Do you have any idea what this means for my family's business? Emma looked at me helplessly.
Bradford, I'm sorry.
I didn't know he was going to. Sorry? Emma, Harrison just bought prime coastal real estate my family has been trying to buy for 10 years. Your father sold to them to hurt us. Actually, I said loudly enough for Bradford to hear. I sold to them because they offered full asking price in cash and a 12-hour closing. Business is business. Bradford's voice turned mean. Tom, this is petty. You're punishing Emma because your feelings got hurt. Bradford, Emma tried to steal my house. Your father threatened me with legal action. Your mother offered to pay my moving expenses because she assumed I was poor. Which part of that should I reward? We were trying to help Emma secure her future by taking property that didn't belong to her. Property that should have been hers anyway. According to who? Bradford was quiet, then tried a new approach. Look, Tom, maybe we can work something out. My father has connections. We can arrange financing for Emma to buy something else. With what income? Her influencer income, brand deals, sponsored content, affiliate marketing. Emma flinched. Bradford, I lost 30,000 followers last night. My brand deals are getting canceled. Nobody wants to work with someone who tried to steal her father's house. What do you mean you lost followers? Emma showed me her phone. Her account had 500,000 yesterday. Now it was 423,000 and dropping. My Instagram live last night has been turned into compilation videos. Entitled influencer tries to steal dad's house. Rich girl meltdown goes viral. When privilege meets reality. They're everywhere. Bradford was silent for a long time. Then he said, Emma, I think we need to take a break. What kind of break? The kind where we don't see each other for a while. My parents are furious about the Harrison deal. This has become too complicated. Emma's voice got tiny. Bradford, are you breaking up with me? I'm saying I need time to figure out how to explain to my family that my girlfriend's father sold prime real estate to our biggest competitors. But we're engaged. We were engaged before your father declared war on my family's business. I took the phone. Bradford, I didn't declare war. I sold property to buyers who met my terms. If that hurts your family's business, maybe your family should have made better offers. Tom, this isn't over. Actually, it is. Emma is no longer my financial responsibility, which means she's no longer your way into Ocean View Holdings properties. I'd suggest your family look for investments somewhere else. I hung up. Emma stared at her phone like it betrayed her. Dad, Bradford just broke up with me. I heard. Because of what you did. Because of what we both did, Emma. The difference is I did it on purpose. Emma started crying again. Dad, I don't have anywhere to go. You have 60 days to figure it out. With no money, no job, and no boyfriend. Welcome to adulthood. The eviction notice arrived at exactly 10 a.m., served by a Harrison Development Group attorney who looked like he wished he were anywhere else. Emma signed with shaking hands while I watched from the kitchen window. By noon, the story had exploded beyond social media. Local news picked it up first. Malibu property mogul sells $14.6 million in real estate after family dispute. Then the real estate blogs got it. Ocean View Holdings CEO executes stunning revenge sale to Harrison Group. Emma's phone never stopped buzzing. Reporters, bloggers, former brand partners, friends who suddenly wanted the inside story. She shut it off after the fifth call from someone claiming to be from TMZ. Dad, there are photographers outside. I looked out the front window. 3 cars across the street, long lenses aimed at the house. They want pictures of the house that started the viral family feud. I said, you're famous now. This isn't the famous I wanted. Emma's Instagram account was losing followers by the hour, down to 387,000 and dropping. The comments on her posts were savage. Brand deals were canceled faster than she could read the emails. Dad, Sugar Bear Hair just terminated my contract. They said I'm not aligned with their brand values. What were your brand values when you tried to steal my house? Emma flinched. I wasn't thinking about brand values. I was thinking about... I don't know what I was thinking about. You were thinking about what you wanted, and you assumed you could take it. Emma got a text from her assistant. Sophia says Revolve wants their clothes back. All the clothes they sent for content. They're sending a courier. How much clothing is that? Maybe 15,000 worth. I have to return everything I haven't posted yet, and some things I already posted. I watched Emma start pulling designer pieces from her closet. Dresses, shoes, bags, each with little paper tags showing what brand sent it. Emma, how much of your wardrobe actually belongs to you? She stopped folding a jacket. What do you mean? I mean, how much of what's in your closet did you buy with your own money? Emma looked around her room like she was seeing it for the first time. I don't know. Most of this is brand deals or stuff you bought me. Show me something you paid for yourself. Emma searched for minutes. Finally, she held up jeans. These? I bought these at Target 2 years ago for $39. Anything else? She kept looking. Found an H&M sweater, some underwear, a few t-shirts. Total value maybe $200. Emma, you're 28 years old, and you own $200 worth of clothes that you actually paid for. Everything else was free or gifts. Nothing is free. Someone always pays. Emma sat on her bed, surrounded by piles of clothes that had to go back to brands that no longer wanted her name. Dad, I don't know how to live without money. Most people figure it out. Most people didn't grow up with a secret millionaire father. Most people don't try to steal their father's house either. Emma's phone buzzed again. This time it was her best friend, Madison. Oh my God, are you okay? I just saw the news. Emma put it on speaker. Which news? All of it. The live stream, the property sale, the breakup with Bradford. It's everywhere. People are calling it the biggest influencer meltdown of the year. Madison, I don't know what to do. Babe, you need to disappear for a while. Let this blow over. Maybe go stay with your dad until things calm down. Emma looked at me. Madison, I can't stay with my dad. He sold the house. He sold your house? He sold both houses and my apartment building. I have to move out in 60 days. Madison paused. Do you need a place to stay? I don't have money. Dad cut me off. What do you mean cut you off? I mean no more allowance, no more credit cards, no more anything. I have like $300 in my checking account. Oh. And Bradford broke up with me, and all my brand deals are getting canceled, and I'm probably going to be internet famous for all the wrong reasons for the next 6 months. Madison's voice got careful. Maybe you should apologize to your dad. I tried. He's not listening. I spoke up.
Emma, I'm listening.
I'm just not rescuing. Dad, what's the difference? Listening means I hear you. Rescuing means I fix your problems for you. I'm done fixing your problems. Emma started crying again. But I don't know how to fix them myself. Then you'd better learn. By evening, it was national news. CNN aired When Family Money Goes Wrong. Fox Business ran Millennial Inheritance Expectations. The New York Post headline read, Daughter demands dad's $3 million house. Gets evicted instead. Emma's Instagram Live had been viewed over 2 million times across all platforms. Someone turned it into a TikTok sound that trended with thousands of videos about family drama. She became a warning story about entitlement and assumptions. Dad, I'm going to be remembered forever as the girl who tried to steal her dad's house. That's up to you. What do you mean? I mean you can be the girl who tried to steal her dad's house, or you can be the girl who learned from it and became a better person. Emma looked at me. How do I become the second one? You start by learning how to live on $300 until you can earn more. Emma stared at her bank balance. Dad, how long do I have to do this? As long as it takes. 3 weeks later, Emma came back again, but she looked different. She wore the Target jeans and H&M sweater, the only clothes she actually owned. Her hair was in a simple ponytail, no salon styling. Her nails were plain. She looked like a normal 28-year-old, not a professional influencer. Dad, can we talk? Of course. She sat across from me on the deck, the same spot as 3 weeks ago, but everything felt different. I got a job. Oh, coffee shop in Santa Monica. Minimum wage, but it's something. I start Monday. How did you find it? I walked in and asked if they were hiring. Turns out it's that simple when you're not too proud to work. Emma pulled a folded piece of paper from her pocket. I also wrote something. I want to read it to you. Okay. She unfolded the paper. Her hands weren't shaking anymore. Dad, 3 weeks ago I tried to steal your house because I thought I deserved it more than you did. I thought you were a failure who got lucky, and I was a success who got cheated. I was wrong about everything. She looked up, then back down. I spent 28 years taking everything you gave me and never once asking what it cost you. Not just money, time, energy, choices you didn't make because you were busy taking care of me. I never said thank you because I thought you owed me everything. Her voice got steadier. I learned something these past 3 weeks. I learned I don't know how to do anything. I can't budget because I never had to. I can't cook because I always ordered delivery. I can't clean because I always had cleaners. I can't solve problems because you always solve them for me. She folded the paper and looked at me. I'm not asking you to take me back. I'm not asking for money or help or anything. I'm asking for a chance to learn how to be someone you could be proud of. Emma, what does that look like? I don't know yet, but I know what it doesn't look like. It doesn't look like taking things that aren't mine. It doesn't look like expecting other people to pay for my choices. And it doesn't look like treating you like you owe me something just because you're my father. Emma stood. I know you probably can't forgive me, and I know sorry doesn't fix what I did. But I wanted you to know I understand now why you did what you did. What do you understand? You didn't punish me. You taught me. You showed me what my choices cost. And you gave me a chance to learn who I am when nobody's paying my way. I looked at my daughter, really looked at her. For the first time in years, I saw someone I recognized. Emma, would you like to have dinner next week? Her face lit up. Really? Really? But you're paying. She laughed. Dad, I make minimum wage now. Then we're going somewhere that serves minimum wage food. Deal. Emma headed for the door, then turned back. Dad, thank you for everything, even the hard parts, especially the hard parts. After she left, I sat on my deck and watched the sunset. Tomorrow I'd start looking for a new house. Smaller, simpler, something that felt like home instead of an investment. But tonight, for the first time in years, I felt like I'd done something right as a father. If you're watching this story, tell me in the comments where you're watching from. And remember, sometimes the greatest gift you can give someone is the chance to earn what they thought they deserved.